Be advised, you are coming in weak and unreadable.
Say again, Com Tower. This is Pacho. Do you read me, over?
Pacho, this is Com Tower. I read you Lima Charlie.
Com Tower, Com Tower. Request permission to launch and commence the field op. Over.
Stand by. Pacho, permission granted. I say again, permission granted.
Roger that. Launching podcast in 3, 2. You are now entering the field op with your host, Pacho Correa, Chief Warrant Officer 3, United States Marine Corps retired. Get some. Hurrah! What's going on, everybody? Well, unlike my other times, today is Friday. Friday is here. The weekend is upon us. God damn, it's the weekend. Burr, 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 burr. Hey, welcome back to the show. I try to keep it. I've been trying to keep it, somewhat of a regular schedule, staying in tune with you folks out there, in interweb land. Trying to keep you being the good Marine that I am, trying to keep you on a good schedule, so that basically, I catch you, on your drive from home, from work and such. Kind of keeping you in that regular schedule that we used to have in the past. However, technology sometimes is not my friend, and as I navigate, doing this by myself now, obviously it's not on my own doing. It was just basically I was having issues with the soundboard interfacing with our computer. So look, yeah, I know it sounds like excuses, and pretty much excuses are like, you know what, and everybody's got one. So at the end of the day, it's my bad. It's not your fault. I am adjusting. I am fixing myself. So I will, another way, and because at the end of the day, I just want to give you a good product, and I want to keep you happy. Because I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for you. So hey, look, this show is brought to you by the amazing folks of an amazing company that I work for now and I represent. And if you want to find out more about what would it take to get you from point A to point B in regards to your financials, in other words, finding out what your financial independence number is, because at the end of the day, retirement is not an age. It is a financial figure, and it's never too late to start investing and planning for the future, and as well as also protecting what you have and protecting your family at the end of the day, because because when life and things happen that are unexpected and emergencies should happen, GoFundMe or Venmo accounts posting on the internet it's not good for you, because now you're depending on the goodwill. You or your family are dependent on the goodwill of others, and while it may be something that they may help along the way, it's not gonna basically help you during an emergency or something tragic or a tragedy. So go to the link bio. I'll be and basically I'll be helping you out. I know I am a fiduciary in the industry. I am licensed nationwide, so I'll be able to meet your needs and see what we can come up with. At the end of the day, you just get some really good information and go about your business. Okay, no pressure, no commitment, no nothing. And also, hey, the VA is an amazing organization. Yes, they may have had their issues in the past. Nonetheless, it is something that's there for us veterans. So make sure you're participating and get yourself checked out by them, and ensure that that you are basically putting your claims. You have a change of in regards to surgery, medically, whatever. Bring those records from your, if you're a retiree like myself, I use TRICARE at the same time. So bring those records, keep your stuff up to date, and then keep applying for claims, because hey, everybody wants to basically be taken care of. God forbid something happens, and you also have resources, and you can up your VA claim compensation as well, because we all want to get 100% and be able to sustain ourselves, because as you get older, stuff starts going sideways. I know. I just had a total knee replacement not that long ago. So give the VA a chance. Give them a call, and yeah. And this show is also brought to you by the Great American Constitution. this show is all about the freedom of speech, the right to bear arms, and all the other great things, and the rights and freedoms that we as Americans have because of this amazing document that we must protect at all costs. So if you like what you hear, like, subscribe, and follow. Support your local podcaster. And if not, check out the folks at Sitchradio.com. They're an amazing organization that they still support me on the back end, getting all this stuff, these products out there on the other streaming platforms. So be sure to check out Sitchradio.com. And if you ever want to be a podcaster, give Brian Colburn a call, and he'll get you all taken care of. So I think that's pretty much it with all the pleasantries. So let's get on with the do and talk about the topic for this week, which is beating the odds. Lately, I think it comes in cycles, and a lot of us do this. If you haven't done it yet, it's not a midlife crisis at all, because what would some would consider a midlife crisis, is go buying unnecessary shit, or just doing things like, or that realization of, hey, how much time do I got left? What have I done with my life? Have I been, have I done good? What have I accomplished? And at some point, we all start kind of telling ourselves in regards to, what have we accomplished in life, or where are we? And as I've been looking at for self-realization purposes, and what obstacles have been placed before me. I look back, it's like, man, what? Yeah, it has, yes, and by no means, look, I do have a new rediscovered religion with a new rediscovered relationship with my religion, and such. Call it the universe, call it God, divine intervention, call it Buddha, whatever it is. We all, everybody's dealt their own set of cards, and I don't think, in my opinion, none of us came to this world to fail whatsoever. I mean, are some of us placed in situations, or maybe born to some degree in a certain situation that we have the deck stacked against us? Yeah, I believe in that. But I also, on the other side of the coin, I also believe that that one in the universe, let's just, for generic purposes, I think we're put in those situations as a test in life, and see what would that become of us. Despite all the many things that have happened to me as a child, growing up, all the trauma, as well as the challenges in life, God has tested me, and it's kind of like that, that trial by fire, so to speak. And the only way to sharpen iron is with iron. So as I look back in my life, there's been a lot of challenges. I mean, I was born and raised in a farm. Yeah, I guess you could say as farm status, we weren't too bad. We weren't too good. I came from a family that mainly was in the cattle industry. So and my grandfather was that was the best example of beating all the odds. I mean, he was a self-made, he made it to his status basically, from the ground up. He came from nothing. He came from a little town where there was basically, absolutely nothing. And he built this little farm that he bought into something, that produced for many, many years. And he was able to take care of his entire kids and his kids' wives or families. I mean, for many, many, many years. I mean, which is pretty impressive to say the least. So, he always taught me, hey, don't ever borrow anything from anybody, basically. Don't owe anybody anything, because we've all heard the saying, a friend in need is a friend indeed. in other words, hey, you're gonna go borrow from Peter pay Paul, and so you got to be able to overcome whatever your challenges are. We came, and then later on in life, obviously my mom separated from my mom did ended up being a single mom. Nothing against my dad, because I mean that the dude was in the picture still, so I don't have any baby daddy issues in that sense. I'm just saying that there were there challenging times, and she was single. Yeah, of course. Was my dad sometimes he didn't do his part? Yeah, of course. But I'm not gonna hate the dude for it all the way. I mean, I understand as I've gotten older, I've been able to understand my parents and their thought, whether it was the right decision or maybe or not or whatever. I guess the older we get, we tend to understand them that much better. But life is not easy. Life is not it's not a bowl of cherries. I mean, if it were easy, then it wouldn't be life. It would. I mean, we would all be in the Garden of Eden. We would be everybody would be bountiful, fruitful, all the good, all, without knowing suffering or anything of the sort, right? So, if things were supposed to be that way, I mean, shoot, I mean, things would be amazing. And but then we would, would we feel entitled? Would we feel, we wouldn't know the other flip side of the coin, where, is it, could it get worse? Could it be better? I don't know. That's a question for somebody else to answer. Maybe when I'm up there, meeting with the good Lord, maybe there's some questions that I can ask him as to, hey, was there another purpose? Nonetheless, I don't think that we're brought to this earth to want to have lack or anything. There are those of us who are constantly challenged and see how is that we get better. Because as I talked about in another show, is when we measure ourselves in regards to success, I think when you're measuring that too is by where you're at, or where you're, where is that you're placed at. I mean, things should always get better. I mean, I have yet to meet an individual that's completely happy with what they have. Even millionaires, they do have to some level of unhappiness, or it could be better, or whatever the case. If you don't believe me, then I mean, I'm not promoting this podcast, but I did listen to it, and I thought the first season, I thought it was amazing. It's called The Happiness Lab by Dr. I forget her first name, but Dr. Santos. The second season went a little weird on me. Just it kind of started politicizing itself, and at the end of the day, I'm just here to listen to the topic. I don't need your whatever it is that your preference is. We're not here for that. But the content, and so it talks about in one of the episodes. It's called The Unhappy Millionaire. So issues that might be to, I guess, the average income person, that might not be, man, I would love to have those problems. To people with a lot of money and such, they have their own perception and their own, the way they see things. That, just because you have money doesn't mean that you're completely happy. And if you don't believe me, I mean, you can go on YouTube. I'm subscribed to a lot of wealth on Instagram, a lot of different profiles and such. I mean, and they do talk about it. I mean, that money's not the root of all evil, and money does not bring it does bring you happiness in the sense that it'll make your lives better and your family status and such. However, that's not the end all be all. So you got to be happy with yourself. So as you when you're telling your life as to has it been crappy, has it been horrible, or whatever the case, because we tend to do that, is we compare ourselves with. And as much as I'm a fan of technology, I'm a fan of progression, I'm a fan. Social media's got its great things about it. However, it does also give us that false sense of, oh man, where am I at in comparison to all these other individuals? All these Kardashians, these influencers, the LeBron Jameses, all these sport figures and whatever. That, again, we only allow people to see what we allow them to see. even myself. I mean, you can follow me at the Headshed 2024 or at Pacho Correa underscore 3 on Instagram. I mean, and you'll see me. I'm smiling. I'm doing all these things. Uh, at the end of the day, what you see is what I'm allowing you to see. You don't see the struggles. You don't see the war in the night, the grind. Basically, we don't see the grind. We don't see those type of things to get where we're at. Even sports figures, and again, I use the Kardashians name because that's just what I came up right on top of it. But what we don't see is their issues, their struggles, their family, how they're, maybe not getting along with their families, whatever. Because again, even on what we call reality TV, that is to some degree, it's real, but it's not, because we're only privy to see what they will allow us to see and how they're going to interact with one another. So at the end of the day, yeah, I'm a fan of proponent of all these things, but that just makes us, compare ourselves, and we do that a lot. I too do that stuff. I think I've become more self-aware. If I catch myself doing that or some other stuff, I'm like, I automatically nip it in the bud, and sometimes I'll even say it out loud. Hey, cut it out, stop it. That's one of my therapists. Taught me, Dr. Jackson, who she's been on the show before. Basically, because we do that. We'll compare ourselves to other people, and then that's kind of where we end up in that rabbit hole. And again, social media is great, and those are great avenues. I will say that just be conscious and mindful of the simple fact that you can't, it gives you that false sense of, where it makes you feel that that you could be worse, better than you, where you are actually much better off, if that makes sense. But there's a lot of things that's happened, to in my life. I've very tragically, I lost my father and grandfather. My dad was extremely, for his age, was very young. He was only 61 years old. I lost, close family members. I've had a lot of tragedy happen in my life that even my therapist says, like, holy cow, man, it's a wonder why you're still here despite all these things that are happening. I've lost a lot of, fellow service members to suicide over the last couple of years. Close people that I've known. These weren't individuals that I just kind of knew here and there. It was actually, individuals that, were very close to my heart, and all those things. So, all those things, shape our reality, and as I've talked before, our mind is just a big memory bank. I mean, that's what our brain is. When we're able to develop our forehead thinking, and basically we can see the future, then we're next level, on our evolution path as human beings. But so what I'm trying to get at is that, our mind is just a bit it just take a snapshot of where we're at or whatever happened, and we recall that. So that being said, obviously there's been, we have losses, we have grief, we have challenges, divorces, leaving completely broke, and again, I'm speaking to the masses right here. As I told you before, I'm very transparent with my life, but nonetheless, I'm still here. And we have to be basically be mindful that we are still here. What do I mean by that is, every day is a gift, and a lot of times we take that we take that for granted. That, hey, it's another day that we woke up, another day that that our lives are, that we get to do it all over again. Maybe not in the whole sense with Bill Murray in the movie Groundhog Day, not in that sense, but the moment you wake, whether your alarm goes off, listen to Sonny Bono and share "I Got You, Babe," making a movie reference here. But when your alarm goes off or you wake up, hey, that's a clean slate all over again. that hey, I'm up, and this it's gonna be an amazing day. So you got to be able to, because it is you who decides that what kind of day is going to be. Is it going to be a good day, or is it going to mindset? And just like Angel just pointed out in on the comments, you it's okay to try, or keep that or keep that mindset. Better yet, let's not say try. Let's say let's do, because obviously if we try, and what I've been told before is basically you're already kind of preempting that you're going to fail. No, I do my best to keep that mindset. So what I usually do is when I get up, as I feel, all the creaking, snapping, and popping, as your body is doing the whole snap, crackle, and pop thing, I'll sit on my bed and I'll say thank you, and then up and at 'em. I'll get up, I'll go meditate, and I'm a huge proponent now of meditation, because of the simple fact that is that it'll help you and it'll ground you. You don't have to be floating up in the air, with your legs crossed, with your fingers like this, doing aum. It's not even like that. It's just basically, and maybe I'll put on right here on the show comments. I'll put I'll put a link to my Calm, my invite link to Calm. Again, I don't get paid. Believe me, I don't get paid shit for advertising some of these people. But meditation really helps. Even if it's just 1 minute of just concentrate on your breathing, and just breathe in, breathe out. Just doing a minute has some great benefits, and before you know it, you can do it 5 minutes, then 10, 15. I mean, I meditate for about a good half hour, and in that meditation, I also do some praying. Praying is a form of meditating. So whether it's to whoever it is, the universe, God, Jesus, Buddha, whatever, Yahweh, Allah, whoever it is, it'll help you, because a lot of the times it could be better. You could be in Kuwait, sucking 134-degree weather. You could be in Iraq. You could be patrolling in Afghanistan. Believe you me, if you think it could be shittier, it can be. I mean, let's call it what it is. So you got to be able to, when you find yourself tallying yourself, and look at all the things that you've done, to be here. If you're around my age, I mean, I'll be 51 this year. I'm just saying that, I mean, I've overcome a lot of obstacles. I came here. My mom used to basically, I mean, to hustle and put food on the table. You name it. She's cleaned houses. She if we wash cars, she did at some point end up having like a little clothing store. But I mean, our parents and ourselves, we've done everything that we can to basically do what we do, is to be a parent, to be a husband, to be a wife. Those are the things that makes us resilient. So when when you find yourself, oh, why me? What have I accomplished? Look at all the things all the obstacles that you've overcame. If you had childhood trauma where people took advantage of you as a kid and those type of things, like myself, I mean, despite all that shit, I'm still fucking here. I'm still alive and kicking. I sometimes man, I just thought about something. I don't know if you ever seen that one photograph of I think it's First Island Castle, who got blown up in Iraq by an insurgent, and you see two people, I think two Marines are carrying him, and I mean his pants are blown off and he's all bloody and everything, but he's still walking and he's giving the middle finger to the insurgents. I mean, you gotta be like that man, is that, hey, despite all the bullshit, despite all the hardships, despite all the things that happen to you in life, you're still here. You're still getting up. You're still kicking and screaming. You're still fighting for what's yours. Because it could be really easy to just give up, throw your hands up and then just bitch about things and complain. That could be really easy. However, it can also be really easy to say, hey, yesterday's already gone. That you can't go back and change that. Tomorrow may never come. I mean, tomorrow is not guaranteed. All you can do is to make today count and make it that much better. So be able to do that every morning, and even before you go to bed, because again, that's when your Groundhog Day is going to end. Say thank you. Thank you to you, and thank you to that day. This part, regardless of how bad and how terrible it may have been, you made it. You made it, champ. You fought your 12 rounds. Yes, you almost lost. You got knocked down a couple of times. Referee almost counted to 10, but you still got up. And we might have not won the battle, but at least you won a little bit of that fight. All right. So maybe it was a draw for that day, and then next day we get to do it all over again. And maybe that next day it will be better. You'll be a fucking rock star, and you'll make that happen. So you just gotta be able to together. You got to be able to, all of us. We, like I said last week, reach out. If you're having one of those days, I'm pretty much in. I'm doing this pretty much full time, and aside from being, financial planner and helping people with a financial coach, and licensed in the investment industry. Aside from all that, I'm also doing a lot more content from home. So if you want to talk, if you're having a pretty shitty day, you want to reach out, please, I encourage you and I ask, shoot me a DM. If you're having a bad time and you want to talk over the phone, shoot me a DM. I will give you my phone number. I'd rather you, shoot me a DM, and I'll give you my phone number and we talk. I'd rather do that than see a post that, hey, somebody else, hey, so and so took their life because of whatever reason. Where maybe a simple conversation and somebody with a caring ear could have been here for you, and just kind of basically at the end of the day bullshit for a little bit. Let me hear your problems, and maybe when we say them out loud, say, man, you know what? When you put it like that, it's not that bad. Whatever, or if you need further help, we'll be let's get together and let's connect. And then if you need the power or the will of somebody to back you up to make that phone call to the VA because you need further help, then let's go ahead and do it together. Fuck, I mean, we'll do a 3-way call, and I'll get you connected. Aaron Sieber runs is part of an amazing organization, Warrior Built. If we need to take you to Camp Hope in Texas, I mean, I can get you connected over there, and then you can go for 6 months of therapy, so that we can get you back on track. Or shit, I mean, maybe we can, if you and me, if you need to go somewhere, I mean, I'll be more than glad to, we could go to Colombia I got 216 acres of land with a beautiful home that if you really, and when I say if you really want to friggin' disconnect from the world and technology, that is the fucking perfect place, because once you get down to that, that little bottom, that valley where the reception ends, I mean, you're in the black, you're in the dark zone. So, I mean, you really disconnect from all these distractions and really zen. I love going over there. That's kind of like my zen place, because I go over there. So, I mean, we could take it that far. I'm available now, and I can do this with you, but you got to do the work. At the end of the day, you got to do the hard work. You see, hablamos español there, Angel. But a lot of people over there speak English as well. I mean, you'd be surprised now too. So, and by the way, there is a VA in Medellin as well. There is a VA clinic over there that we can go if you need your meds or whatever the case. They do, it is through the VA. No, they won't make fun of your accent, so don't worry about it. But at the end of the day, nobody wants to be. I don't want to read a eulogy. I don't want to be saying good shit about you at your funeral. I mean, we don't want that. So, again, let's not tally our lives. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. If you need me to be your soundboard and basically, and I'll call you. Hey, we'll do a military style, like, hey, dog. I mean, or if it's a male or female. I mean, my word is dude or bro. I mean, it doesn't matter because it's pretty. That word is pretty. I'm like, bro. I mean, you do you hear yourself? I mean, that sounds like bullshit right now, right? So, but again, I'm hearing your problems and everything. But let's work together at it. Let's not be a casualty. None of us here want to go to your eulogy. I mean, your funeral and all that stuff. I mean, nobody wants that. So let's help each other out. And when you tally if you're gonna tally your life if you've been here, then let's tally all the odds that you've beaten to make it this far. Let's make all the tally all the challenges and give yourself fucking credit for being an amazing individual because you fucking rock. You matter. You're here today because of you. Nobody else, not your parents, nobody is. It's you. You've been your own road dog, your homie, your ride or die. That's been you. That individual that you look in the mirror every day, and sometimes you talk shit about, and then you criticize. That individual's been with you through thick and thin. So why don't you treat yourself better than treating anybody and putting yourself before anybody else? Because we tend to do otherwise. We criticize ourselves. And we put everybody else's well-being and health before ours. So for starting today, I want you to flip the script, and I want you to treat yourself better than anybody else. It's not being selfish, because at the end of the day, if you can't take care of you, you're certainly not equipped to take care of anybody else or be with anybody else. So flip the script, treat yourself right, love yourself, sacrifice for yourself, fight for what you have, and be an amazing individual. So with that being said, folks, thanks so much for tuning in. Hey, check out our more refined channel on YouTube. It's called The Headset. That is where we will talk about more admin related stuff that you wanted to ask while you were on active duty but didn't. We talk about SGLI, single group life insurance versus VGLI. We're going to talk about what to do with your thrift savings plan after you leave the service. We'll talk about my job and what I plan to do with that through that channel is educate you and empower you, so that way you make good sound decisions. So that way you can invest in you, invest in your family, and it's all going to be free content. So check out that. And also, you can follow at the Headset 2024 on Instagram. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can hit me up on Facebook as well, and any other all the other social media. And obviously your channel on YouTube for the Field Up, the Headset. I mean, I'm still there. I'm still putting a lot of good content out there, and I am working on I'll be working on the new intro for the show as well. So when I'm ready for it, I'm going to throw it out there. I'm looking for about 10 individuals to help me out with this this new intro to the show. So when I'm ready to do that, not right now, but when I'm ready to do that, if you want to be part of it, I'll let you know. DM me, and we'll do a little recording over Zoom and stuff, and I think it'll be pretty friggin' amazing. So that's right, new intro unlocked. So we'll go ahead and do that, because I need some motivated individuals that already get some virtual PT with me, and we'll do this awesome, amazing intro. So with that being said, folks, thanks so much for tuning in. Just be be semper gumby, as we used to say in the Marine Corps, in regards to the show. Now that I'm hitting, I'm in a new industry, in the sense that, hey, I left my corporate job, and now I'm doing some amazing things, helping families in the financial industry. So, but I will try to keep the time frame Thursdays to 6 p.m. Just be a little flexible, and we'll be able to, just because I'll still pump out the content, and you can still listen it in your car through all the other venues. And on those venues, I even add the intro and outro as well. This right here is just strictly live, pure as can be. So, anyways, thanks so much for tuning in, folks. I'll talk to you next week. I think we'll end Dex right over here. Aistamas, Daisuki. I'll see you later, folks. Yat, get some.